everyone, so this is the first of 2 video reviews this week. This one is for my paperback read, which was Oh You Pretty Thing by V.G. Lee. For any of you that missed the introduction video, this is what the book looks like. The introduction video is hanging around on YouTube and Facebook, so if you want to go and check that out, you can. I've also just posted my Goodreads review, so if you want to check that out again, there is a link on Facebook below all the other videos, or if you're on YouTube, there is a link in the description below. And this is a video review. So Oh You Pretty Thing is a collection of short stories, and they really spoke to me as a reader, actually, because they were quirky and different and not exactly what I was expecting, which was lovely because it was very refreshing to read. The way they were written was quite unique as well. It was almost as if they were memoirs. It was a very catchy point of view and voice to use for writing stories, and really drew me in as a reader. It made me more invested in them and the characters and the narrator's sort of take on these characters, their thoughts, their feelings, what they were doing. And it was very clever, really well written and put together, covering an amazing variety of topics, and they were all sort of engineered by colourful and wonderfully unique characters that you can't help but love. They've all got these very unique personalities, and they literally range from everything from like super creepy to super eccentric, and they were amazing. I just loved the variety. Like I say, in this book there was just something for everyone, and the vintage feel to the book, the way it looks, like I said in the introduction video, it has a very vintage feel to the design, really sums up a few of the stories, and it just really adds to the theme of the book. And just, even though it contains modern stories and slightly sort of like I say, when they're written in a memoir type of tone and voice, they're almost like a little bit of history as well, so it was lovely to have that vintage feel. Each story really took me on a different emotional journey. I was literally laughing with some, crying with others, and I was cringing with one in particular, and it's not because it was a bad story, it was just because it was so well done, that it had this really creepy character, and I was like, oh my god, it gave me the creeps a little bit, but I still loved it. In fact, actually, it's one of my favourites in here. And each one, you know, giving their memoir or story just gave you a different emotion to feel. They were very relatable characters, very relatable stories, and everything that had to be handled sensitively was done so, and it was done so in such a meaningful way as well. It really made the stories authentic and realistic, and they were just brilliantly put together. Like I say, the variety in this book, it was a bit like being in the middle of a neighbourhood, you know, where you've got all this, you wonder about the people that live there, and then somebody's sort of narrating and telling you about the people that live there, and they all have completely different lives, nothing like what you would imagine, and skeletons in closets and God knows what else. So the collection, you know, it just contained a brilliant variety of stories, all different lengths, and there was really something for everyone in here. You will find stories that you love, and stories that you relate to, and characters that you relate to. Julie's story, which is Oh You Pretty Thing, was definitely my favourite, I think. I enjoyed every story, don't get me wrong, they were all brilliant in their own way, but Julie's story, probably my favourite. Very emotional and relatable, and I really felt a connection to Julie. She was brilliant. But there were lots of other brilliant characters in here, trust me. A few of them will have you questioning some stuff, but they were really good. So it was really enjoyable, really good for the soul. Yeah, it really was just fun to read this book, and I highly recommend V.G. Lee's collection to any reader, especially if you love something a little bit different. This was very ingenious, and it was definitely full of heart. You can tell she's put a lot of effort into developing these characters and bringing you humour and fun and realism in everything, just packed into a brilliant collection of short stories. So go check out Oh You Pretty Thing, and if you want to grab a copy of the book, I'll put a link in the description so you can go and buy a copy. I really hope you will, because you'll really enjoy it. If you've read Oh You Pretty Thing by V.G. Lee, please let me know. Please let me know what your favourite story was. Did you have a favourite character? What did you think of the stories? And yeah, just let me know. And if you haven't read it, or if it's on your to-read list, again, I would love to hear from you, because it's always great to hear who's interested in the books and why you're interested and when you're going to read it. Yeah, let me know. And so if you do read it, I really, really hope you enjoy it. Bye!